What up, YouTube? Broke phone back for another Super Sunday chat, Super Sunday show, Super whatever you want to call it. I'm here. Now, my bad on the delay. I had a couple technical issues. You know how it is. You know what I mean? And I'm still having a few issues. But if you can see me, well, if you can't see me, you can't see this. Can you hear me then? Can you hear me? Is this thing on? So I like to start all my live with a little inspirational word, a little inspirational message, a little something to get you through the day. And the message for today is slow and steady wins the race. I'm gonna come in. Slow and steady wins the race. If you're trying to do something you really want to do, it takes time. Nothing good happens overnight. And it ain't working on my phone. Are y'all sure? Y'all see me? That's right. Y'all see me and hear me, but it ain't coming up on my phone. That's crazy. But anyway. Oh, there it goes. But anyway, just I want to instill this in your head. Some things take a little longer to come through than other things, but you have to keep working. Just like the garden. It's a perfect idea if you think about it. You plant a seed, that seed ain't gonna come up tomorrow. Believe me, as soon as I plant that seed, I'm out there the next day looking to see. Did it germinate? Did it germinate? It takes time. So anything you want in life, take time. Don't rush to do nothing. Take your time. Take your time. All right, I'm having a couple glitches, like my head floating. But we gonna be all right. Let's speak to folks that came in the house today. Miss Shirley OG in the building. I knew you were gonna be here first, Miss Shirley. True support. Appreciate that. Roz Marie in the building. What's up, Roz? I don't think I've seen you in a couple weeks, Roz. Glad to have you back. Tammy. What up, cousin Tammy? In the building. Glad to have you in here. Gina versus Gina. What's up, Gina? I saw your sweet potato video. Doing your thing over there. TT's Urban Pantry. I saw you live. I couldn't stay over because I was getting ready for mine, but I did come over there. I sat for a minute. I hit the like button. Did my thing as a true subscriber of yours. Times you say you can see me. Okay. FR Humphrey in the building. What's up, FR? Kenyatta's Journey in the building. Hey, Kenyatta, how you doing? Charlotte Urban Gardener is definitely in the building. Glad to have you in here. Miss Native Cherokee 70 in the building. My granny's garden in the building. I ain't got cheers. And go Falcons. Go Falcons. Miss Kia Parks in the building. Hey, how you doing? Miss Kia say, good afternoon, broken everyone here. Glad to have you in here. La Texas 88 in the building. What's up, La? Lucas 5464 in the building. Say hello, I hear you. Okay. Florence Lindsay in the building. Hey, Florence, how you doing? One virtuous woman and one vigilant watchman in the building. If this is your first time in here, let me know so we can greet you and welcome you to the chat. Nadia Lazama in the building. Say, I could see you. Okay, appreciate that, Nadia. Who else we got in here? Nola Girl Homestead in the building. Glad to have you in here. Southern Country Roots in the building. Glad to have you in here. Southern Country Roots. No, I've seen you in here before. I haven't. Southern Country Roots. If this is your first time here, let me know. Sylvia Fit Never Quit in the building. You better not quit. D Jones in the building. Mad Cow. I'm trying to say that right. My country accent won't let me say it. I know how it's supposed to sound. Mad Cow in the building. I think I'm saying that right. Michelle in the building. Say John from 7-8 in the building. G Mama Grows, broke former internet cousins in the building. 6-8. My buddy growing out the box in the building. Say afternoon, broke former check. Glad to have you in here. Cassandra South Fulton Garden in the building. Did I miss anybody? I didn't miss nobody, did I? That's what it is. Earth Experience. That's what I know you for. Okay. And did I say yes? First time here in North Cali. My name is Marcel. All right. First off, Marcel, glad to have you in here. Let's start off like that. But this is our gardening community, and me being one part of it, not the head of it, not nothing like that, just one part of a whole bunch of gardeners that come together through different channels, and we share experiences, and we have chats, and we figure out problems in our garden, and we talk about new and innovative things, and whatever going on in the garden, we talk about. So from here on out, you are officially welcome to our gardening community. And any channel you go to, you will get the same love that you get over here. So glad to have you in here. I'm trying to get that right. Right here, my head kind of hit something weird. Let me do a little construction here. All right, that's better. That's better. Hold on, y'all. Let me plug in my computer. Like I say, I'll run a little behind. Y'all know how them technical difficulties be. But I'm ready now. And why did I just blur out? See what I mean, y'all? They don't want me to be great. But we're going to go through the blurry times. There you go. I'm back. Pescatarian gardener in the building. Pescatarian gardener. Either you ain't putting out enough videos, or I really like your content and I can't get enough of it. I don't know what the difference is. Southern Country Roots said changing up some things, so I changed the name. I changed my name too. I used to be Broke Farmer 76. Now I'm just Broke Farmer. I was so broke I couldn't afford the 76. Never mind. Them groceries in the building. Glad to have you in here. I think Anna Wright in the building. Good to see you, Anna Wright. I think I've seen you in here before. A couple times, actually. And somebody's speaking to Juicing with Jay. Juicing with Jay. Glad to have you here. Now, look. I titled this video, Fall Garden Struggles, or why is my fall garden struggle, or fall garden struggle, however I put it. Homestead in the hood, in the building. But if you are struggling, let's talk about it. Now, for anybody who new in the chat, please understand I am not an expert. I do not know everything. But we talk about stuff. I bring up, hello. Marcel said, thank you. Yes, I'm a gardener homesteader for over 18 years. I'm more of what you call a discreet prepper. Nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of them. Sue Davis in the building. You're too kind. I was having issues with kidney stone, but better now. Hey, glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Good Eats Homestead in the building. Good Eats. I think this is your first time here. If it is, welcome to the gardening community. I don't know if you heard what I told Marcel, but you are part of the gardening community too. As long as you respect it and give us good information every now and then, because everybody got to bring a little something to the table. I know a little bit about this, you know a little bit about that, and after a while, we all know everything about everything. No, that's not how gardening works. You never learn everything about gardening. I don't care how good you are, you're going to have some plants that are going to die. All that homesteader in the building. Hey, all that, how you doing? I think I got everybody. Got everybody. But like I was saying, my Renaissance grandma in the building. Glad to have you in here. Rain dance. Glad to have you in here. So what I do is I bring up topics. I don't know everything. We talk about it, and we just get some good dialogue back and forth. And as you know, everybody is into their fall gardening, depending on where you're at. Everybody ain't in, some people in Cali and places like that, zone 10 is 9, they're not in the fall, but we're gonna talk about it anyway. Janice W in the building. Yes, pescatarian gardener. I'm glad you're feeling so much better. So let's get on with the show. Now, one reason is just plain lack of sunlight. It's that time of the year where it's less sunlight. You got temperatures going up and down. Oh, yeah, this is a good point G Mama Groves made. It's set by YouTube, not by me or anybody else. It's set by YouTube. Anything more than 3 emojis, most time it'll hold your comment because they think somebody's spam or something like that. But most time we catch it and just let it go. It ain't that big a deal. You know what I mean? But it's more YouTube than anything else. So Unicorn Lady Tech in the building. So it's just that time of the year where normally you just get less sunlight. It's what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. But that could be one reason why your garden is struggling. If you got some pots that was set in a little shade, because you've been having 100-degree weather, then you took those old plants out and put some fall plants out. Why they text me? Don't they know I'm lying? This person that texting me, why they ain't watching my live? I'll wait. But anyway, that plant that you had in the shade because it's been so hot, move those pots back out to the sun. Let them get a little sunlight. Virginia fruit grower in the building. Love that guy channel there. You love fruit trees like I love fruit trees. Veggie Farm Garden in the building. Glad to have you in here. But yeah, getting back to the sunlight. On average, a plant requires 8 hours of sun, 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. Now, I'm reading on this that photosynthesis and respiration decelerate. Am I gonna get into that? No. You're gonna have to do some Google homework yourself because I ain't finna trip myself up going through this stuff. But I think it's just normal. You got less sunlight, so everything gonna grow. Photosynthesis slow down. All that good stuff slow down. That doesn't mean that you can't still grow. It's just you're gonna grow at a snail's pace. But before we go any further, once I got onto that, I ran into some fast-growing fall plants, y'all. Marcel said, trying to plant peanuts for the first time, I'm hoping they sprout. They will. They will definitely sprout. If you have faith, you put them in the right situation. One virtuous woman, what zone are you in? Because I'm pretty sure peanuts. Oh, you say you're in Cali. Oh, you can grow what you want to grow. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you can get them to grow. Just do your research, understand what kind of soil the peanuts like, kind of water they like. I've never grown peanuts, so I can't say much on that. Yeah, growing out the box, said peanuts are done here. But I think you said one virtuous woman that you were in Cali. I'm not sure the temps. I'm not sure if y'all even get a fall, depending on if you're in zone 9. Oh, you say you're in zone 9B? Yeah, you probably could do it. Down here with me and growing out the box with, yeah, it's done for us. Ann Ravenel in the building. Glad to have you in here. But a couple of plants that grow fast in the fall, radishes, big thumb down. Turnips, carrots, beets, fava beans, lettuce, spinach, and onions. Now, just to piggyback off some of this stuff on this list, somewhat should grow fast so you can throw it in the trash can. I'm just saying, just let it grow so you can throw it in the trash can. It's ridiculous. Radishes, beets, fava beans, y'all can have that. But I am growing turnips, carrots, lettuce, and onions, and spinach. I just replanted some more spinach. First off, y'all let me know in the comments, what have y'all already planted for fall? Let's go there before we get too deep in it. What have y'all put in y'all garden for fall? Let me know. Something else about that. Now, y'all know I take notes. Fertilizing. Why do we think that now this fall, these plants don't need fertilizer like the other stuff do? You gotta fertilize this stuff. When you first plant it, put a little slow release in there, and then 7 to 10 days, put a little liquid application for stuff. Joseph B say, you grow peanuts like you grow beans, super easy. I found them not worth the time. Well, if they super easy, why they ain't worth the time, Joseph? You said they super easy. Okay. Miss Native said, I'm letting my peanuts die back, then I pulled them out the grow bag and 7B. Okay. Yeah, most zones probably 8 down, peanuts are done. But 9B, I'm not familiar with y'all weather. I know it stay hot up there, so your growing season probably is longer than ours. Grammy's Journal in the building. Hey, Grammy Journal. Let me know if it's your first time. And look, everybody that's in the chat, tell everybody if it's their first time, welcome to the chat and welcome to the gardening community. Can y'all do that for me? Miss Kia Park said, jump chat. Says she's growing cabbage, lettuce, mustard, and collard green. I'm not growing mustard. Am I growing? Yeah, I am. I'm growing some Florida broadleaf mustard. And they already getting big. Janice said we had our first frost freeze Friday night here outside of Chicago. It came a little soon this year. Took out the last of my garden. 5B. Ooh, that's a rough zone to grow in. Ooh. Homestead in the Hood says spinach, bok choy, 3 different lettuces, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, and cabbage. You got everything in. You good. Marla Thomas in the building. Glad to have you in here, Marla. Say hello, Mr. Broke Farm. I need some motivation for the fall season. Okay, you came to the right channel. Grow. Marla, we're gonna motivate each other to grow. Tammy says she got collards, broccoli, mustard greens, Swiss chard, celery, and garlic. Now, I got some Swiss chard planted out there. I've never had Swiss chard. I have no idea what it tastes like. Everybody else seems to like them. I don't know if they more like collard greens or I don't know what the expectation on that. So I'm setting no expectation for it. What? My husband and I tried urine, water, wood. What? Wood, ash for fertilizer. It working great thus far for what? Is the urine a spell check thing? When you trying to put something else, did you mean to put urine in there? Let me know. That's what I need to know because I'm gonna wonder about that all day. And then a lot of the same stuff: collards, mustard, Swiss chard, carrots, cabbage, broccoli, garlic, and onions plants. I think we're growing some of the similar stuff in all these zones, so it should be a little more interesting. G Mama said her frost came early too. I don't know. We haven't got below 48 yet. 48 ain't bad. Nola girl said my cabbage boat is still too hot, 9B. Yeah. I don't know. You're gonna have to pull out a shade cloth and or put it in the shaded area because in straight sun, it's way too hot, 9B. Unicorn Lady text say mustard greens, kale, broccoli, lettuce, and Brussels sprouts. I got Brussels seeds. I don't think I'm gonna plant Brussels sprouts because don't nobody eat them but me, man. I don't know what it is. Nobody like Brussels sprouts. But if you put them in the oven and roast them, they are delicious. Delicious. My granny's gonna say I haven't started anything yet due to sickness and deaths in the family. Hey, I'm sorry to hear that, my granny's garden. Prayers out to you and your family. I hope everything get better, and time heals all wounds. Oh, Grammy Johnson's second time. Okay. Oh yeah. Doug and Stacy. Yeah, I watched their composting video. It ain't for everybody. It ain't for me. Uh, when I send it out, I don't want to eat it back. I don't know, but to each his own. We don't judge in this community. We all share how we do things and move on with it. Charlotte Urban Gardener. What's up? Homestead in the Hood say I'm using the chicken poop that I gathered in January. I just mixed it with some rainwater and feed them. Yeah, that chicken poop. I mean, once you let it sit 3 to 6 months, it's some awesome, awesome stuff. Tammy, welcome every new person to the gardening community. We are glad to have everybody in here. Sue Davis is welcoming everybody in. Yvonne McFadden in the building. Hey, Yvonne, how you doing? Glad to have you in. GT grows in Alaska. My guy, doing big things in the cold weather. If you think you can't grow something where you live at, watch a GT Junior video. That man growing in Alaska. You know what Alaska is famous for? Ice and snow. Snow and ice. And he's still doing big things down there. So come on, y'all. Don't make excuses. No excuses. Growing out the box is spinach, G.A. Collins, Georgia Collins. There we go. Georgia Collins. Cabbage. He's in Georgia also. Cabbage, sugar snap peas. Hey, I just planted some sugar snap peas. Mixed color Swiss chard, broccoli, elephant garlic. When we get further in the fall, look at that. That's the fall, the fall wish list there. Charlotte Urban Gardener said, "This is my first time planting Swiss chard. Also, I think it's going to taste like kale. At least I'm going to cook it that way." Okay, I was thinking about cooking it like collard greens. If it looked like a collard green to me, that's how I'm gonna cook it. Anna writes, I finally got nasturtiums to grow from seed. I actually forgot I planted them. Got onions, garlic, ginger, lettuce, kale, and grow bags, solo, and pots. I'm doing it. Now, I've never attempted to grow ginger. I'm not a ginger fan. I know it has a whole bunch of health benefits. I just haven't got into it yet. I need to. Microfarmer in the building. What's up, Microfarmer? Cheryl Faulkner in the building. Hey, Cheryl. Glad to have you in here. I don't think I missed nobody else. Oh, Ruth in Georgia Backyard Garden in the building. Glad to have you in here. Now, we started talking about fertilizer. Let me tell y'all something about fertilizer. Your plants need fertilizer, whether it's 100 degrees or 30 degrees outside. And I've seen some stuff on the internet. I ain't gonna put that on nobody. On the internet, it says, you should slow down fertilizer in the winter time and fall time. Look here, if you got plants and you're trying to eat, give them some fertilizer. I use the same fertilizer schedule that I use in the spring and the summer that I do in the fall. My garden growing, I can't tell you what to do. If no fertilizer work for you, no fertilizer. I'm just saying, I don't agree with that stuff I see on the internet about slowing down your fertilizer in the fall. Fertilize. And I think I got it written just like that in my note. Fertilize is super important still. Cold, fertilize. Hot, fertilize. Mild day, fertilize. Angela's Gardening Delight in the building. She changed her name and she changed her pic. Okay, I see you, Angela. Delgado 747 in the building. Glad to have you in here. Tia Drongo in the building. Glad to have you in here. Now let's hit on something else. We talked about fertilizer. We talked about lack of sunlight. But this is something that I think is overemphasized when it comes to plant struggling. Patrice Webb in the building. So she got Morris collars, champion collars, golden ball, turnip and peas, fish fertilizer on them green. They huge. Well, you can't go wrong with that 511. That 511 do Nebraska's right. I don't care what nobody say. I'm about anybody on that one. Miss Native Cherokee said it's easy to grow ginger and turmeric, bro. Farmers just put them in your citrus trees. They do well together. Really? But okay, that's interesting. Put them in your fruit tree. Okay, I like that idea. Talaya Davis Baker in the building. Say, hey, bro, so jealous when I saw your green. It's amazing. I love it. Sorry, I know that's not the topic. No, dude, this is not that type of live, dude. This live is wherever in the chat people want to talk about. That's what we're gonna talk about. So yeah. Microphone say, you know you old when loud music stop you from text. Yeah, been there. Angela say that's a new channel. So Angela, let us know if you already got content up. Randy G in the building. Hey Randy, how you doing? Rosemary say I have seeds for carrots, spinach, lettuce, and beets, and need to get busy planting. Get busy. Get busy. I ain't nothing stopping you but you. Not Nathan. Not Nathan is stopping you. And I look kind of dark on here. Oh, we gonna go with it. You can see me. I don't have to be in live and living color. I was gonna move my ring light. I ain't about that. But something that I think is very understated when you talk about struggling plants is the variety of plant you are growing. The variety, that is very, very important. If you've been growing Georgia collards in Missouri for 3 years and they haven't done good, you might want to, okay, somebody else takes it. You might want to try a different variety. Try Vates, try Morris Head and collards, flash collards. There's all kind of colors. The variety. Sometimes you get variety that just don't grow well in your region. It's nothing you can do about it. But try different varieties. I don't think people ever talk about it. Oh, I can't grow collard greens here. Well, what variety are you growing? Everything has a bunch of varieties these days. Look like something just always on my mouth in this green screen. But I don't think people ever talk about like tomato varieties. It's a lot of tomato varieties. I grew different tomato varieties this year that just didn't do well, just did not do well. I grew them the same way I grew them last year. The only difference was the variety of tomato I was growing. So is it me? No, I'm not going to take no, of course it's not me. No, you got broke farmer? No, it's not me. So it's got to be the variety of tomato. So I'm not going to grow them variety this year except for the pear tomato. And we're going to see how it goes. Let's see what this chat talking about. And as usual, y'all, if y'all watching, I stay behind in the chat. What is it? Miss Native Cherokee 7 say, hey to all I miss. So many in the chat now. Look at Miss Native. She's just speaking to her cousins. That's all. Mary Ellen Sunflower Girl. Are you loving your degrees? I'm loving it. I'm loving it like a McDonald's commercial. I'm loving it. Now, could y'all do me a favor and y'all tell Mary Ellen Sunflower Girl happy birthday in the chat? She recently celebrated her birthday. She had it on the channel. She got a lot of cool gifts. Shouts out to Mary Ellen Sunflower Girl. Very, very happy birthday, and I hope you enjoy it. Well, I saw your video. I know you enjoyed it. Raheem in the building. Raheem, oh man, I can't think where you from. I watched a couple of your videos. I know you from another country. Raheem, if you could tell me what country you in. Southern Country Roots say, what kind of fertilizer do you have, bro? Ooh, I got a lot of different kind. I recently got some Frog Farm. I think it's called Frog Farm liquid fertilizer. I've used it twice. It's working real well. Of course, I'm using my 511, and then I got a bunch of slow release fertilizer. I think I can't remember the name of it, but I put it in the video. That combination is working really good for my fall garden. I think I'm gonna do a fall garden video tour or whatever you call it. I think it's a fall garden tour, whatever. I'm gonna show what's in my garden next week. And I'm super duper impressed because when I amended my beds, I didn't use all these amendments. I didn't use bone meal, blood meal, none of that. All I used was slow release fertilizer and black cow compost. I think I used some chicken manure and a little bit of my compost that I've been making. I don't have a lot of compost that I'm making, but the little bit I use, I definitely put in the garden. So all that other stuff, all them other amendments, I didn't use it. But I still got some of it left, so I got to use like azomite rock dust. I still got some of that. If I spent my money on it, I'm using it. It's all organic, so I'm gonna put it in the garden. So yeah, that was a long version. You just asked what kind of fertilizer. Yeah, kind of did deep dive. Odom Homestead in the building. Odom saw your video, commented on your video. Look here, man. I like your idea how you got your citrus trees planted and ground and you put your greenhouse on top of it. Really cool idea, man. Microphone say I'm going to have to catch a replay. The music is loud, but here to hit the like button. What music? Did somebody else hear music playing in my background? All right, y'all let me know if y'all hear music in the background. On microphone, do you just mean it's music at your house? Okay, I'm confused. Growing out the box said no music. Oh, I guess he meant at his house. Southern Country Boot said, what type of fertilizer you use, bro? Oh, I just answered that. Okay. Randy G say, I only bought seeds from Florida for Florida. That's a good point, Randy G, because a lot of times you can go into your feed and seed store, and a lot of those seeds are designed, and I'm not gonna go into something that I don't know too much about, but those seeds are generational seeds from your local area. Feed and seed stores are good, are a gardener's friend. Use your feed and seed store. Go to your feed and seed store and see what they got in there. They got a lot of cool stuff. Like, I just happen to have a bag right here, Randy. That is crazy. But these are some seeds I got from my feed and seed store. And it even has the county that the seeds were harvested from, and it's a couple counties over from me, so it should grow because they had to grow it to get the seeds off it. So that is very good, Randy, and very important. These seeds are local, so I know they should grow. They got all the information on the back of it. The seed originally came from Oregon. They got the purity of 99%. The germination rate is 85%. That's bad on your buddy because you know mine 85.369, but now I think it's 85.550. I think that's what it is. So we ain't worried about that. But it is local. This seeds came local. That's a good thing. If they grew local, they should grow in your backyard. See if you're fitting out quick. So I've been using Super Juice and 511. Second harvest of green, radish, bean, Jamaican sorrel, ground cherry. Will be harvesting ginger and blue turmeric next week. It works. It works. Everybody can't tell the same lie. It works. Anna Wright said I need to grow some collards and spinach. That's blasphemy. Anna Wright, that's blasphemy. If you got a fall garden and you ain't got collard greens and spinach in there, that's blasphemy. I'm just joking. That's your garden. You can grow whatever you want, man. I'm just saying. That's kind of my thing. I feel like a fall garden, you just got to have collards and spinach. But that's my thing. That ain't got nothing to do with you. At home with Cherie in the building. Glad to have you in here, Cherie. Lion Chris. What up, Lion Chris? And y'all, if you think I take too much time to scroll through the comments and speak to everybody, this is what I do. If you took time out of your day to come in here, I'm going to greet you and I'm going to tell you hi. That's just what I do. So, yeah, I'm going to scroll through the comments and make sure I didn't miss anybody before I go on running my mouth. Because once I get running my mouth, then, yeah. Oh, see? Miss somebody. That's the time. Ooh. That's the time 85. Estatine 85. I hope I'm not butchering that. In the building. I ain't butchering that though. I'm glad to have you in here. Joseph B said I overwintered my tomatoes under my open carport. They survive every year along with my aloe plants. Georgia Zone 8B. Okay. I don't know. My tomato plants didn't make it through the summer. So I know it can't make it through the winter because they already did. But I tried overwintering some bell pepper plants last year. And this was my thing. Bell pepper plants, I think, are biannual. In the right growing condition, they can last 2 years. But that second year, they at toward the end of their growth period. So they're not going to be as strong and vigorous as that first year version of that plant. So I ran into that when I overwintered my bell peppers. I had bell pepper plants that I planted that year that way outproduced the one that I had for 2 years. And that's just my opinion. I mean, everybody got their own opinion, they got their own experience. But to me, second year of some of these plants is about dying and drain. And that's my opinion. I don't know. I could be wrong. Who knows? Joe said I bought a pound of snap beans from the feed and seed store for $3.25. They are good for 3 years, so I have a ton. And that's another thing. At the feed and seed store, you get large quantities of this stuff. Large quantity. They sell this stuff by the pound. I bought garlic and sweet. I want to say sweet Vidalia onions. It's a Georgia thing, if y'all don't know. Vidalia onions. Come on. Vidalia, Georgia. Vidalia onions. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. I don't even like onions, but I like Vidalia onion taste. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But they sell stuff in bulk at your feed and seed store. So it's a good resource that I think a lot of people don't use, and we should use it. A85. I'm just gonna say A85 because I don't want to butcher nobody's name. We had our first Frost Friday night. Thought I lost one of my loofah squash and went to find it chomped by a deer. All right. At least was able to save seeds for next year. You got something out the deal. But man, I'm so tired of these deers and these rodents in folk backyard. Myra McClain in the building. My cousin, your cousin, our cousin, Myra McClain. Glad to have you in here on every Sunday that you're here. Thank you for being here. And the right side, no, that's right. I started mine. It was too hot. They didn't make it. Yeah, you got to be careful with some of that stuff. Southern Country Roots, I'm in Georgia as well, so I'm growing some stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we all growing a little stuff. We ain't growing what we want to grow, but we growing some good stuff. Rosemary said, I planted beets and at harvesting time, I pulled them out and they were as small as cherry tomatoes. Wow. LOL, something must have gone wrong. They might just didn't grow long enough or didn't get enough fertilizer. That's all. All right. Let's get on to some of the reasons our plants struggling. We talked about the plant variety. Now, soil amending. People who talk about gardening, hold on. Growing out the box at True Broke Farmer about the overwintering peppers, the ones I grew from seeds outperform. Personally, won't do it again. And I thought I sat back. Now, this is what I do. I think I said it in a video. If I have a plant that underperforms, or I do this with my fruit trees all the time, if they die or they're not growing well, I assess the situation, where I planted that tree at, how big was the root system, should I have pruned it more, what made this tree go wrong. It's a troubleshooting thing. So I was troubleshooting, why my fruit trees and citrus trees didn't make it. I do the same thing with my plants. And all I got out of that pepper plant was it was at the end of his lifespan. Nothing at the end of his lifespan is going to perform better. Because me at 45, I'm nothing like I was at 25. I'm cool. I'm cool. But I ain't like I was at 25. And I think the same thing holds true for plants. A biennial plant, the second year is toward the end of his lifespan. So it's not going to produce more fruit. So I tried that, and I won't do it again either. I agree with growing out the box. I won't do it again. But it's still, give you a leg up, though, because it's still going to produce fruit. So you'll have a leg up, and you won't have to replant a plant. You won't have to worry about, you save seeds on it. So it's pros and cons to it, I think. Unicorn Lady texted my peppers took a heat break, but giving peppers not yet. It was too hot for a while. Ant Ford Barbecue in the building. What's up, Ant Ford? Glad to have you in here. I saw Nikki drop by. The everyday life of an OCD-ish chick. She is Nikki. Glad to have you in here, Nikki. Now, peppers produce better when the temps cool down here in Georgia 8B. Joe, the same thing here. I still got, I think 3 bell pepper plants. Dude, I've got so much bell pepper. I want to tear the tree down because I got freezer bag full of diced bell peppers. And you can use those bell peppers throughout the whole year. It's so cool about bell pepper. Dice them up, freeze them, you got them. Not forever, but you got them till it's time to plant again next year. They'll make it through the fall and winter. And that's all you really want to do because we're going to grow them again. And just say big facts, if I could be 25 again. I don't know. I'm cool at being 45. At 25, I heard a car though. At 25, I didn't understand the world like I do now. I cared about stuff that I probably shouldn't care about. At 45, I don't care about much. I just know what I enjoy doing. I enjoy taking care of my family and my back there. That's it. And I keep it moving. Now, soil amending. Let's talk about soil amending for a minute. Everybody knows, if you're a gardener, that soil is super important. Because that's what your roots are living in. Your roots at the bottom determine your growth at the top. So that soil has got to be A1. A1. That means you got to have, now look now, I'm going to say so many words that I know a little bit about. Nutrients and you know what? I'm not going to do myself like that. We know that your plants need nutrients and all the things that growing inside that soil for the top half to grow well. So your soil health, feeding that soil the right stuff, having the right soil, making sure your soil ain't too clumpy and whatever, or it's not too loose where everything goes straight through it. It's a certain mix depending on that plant that works the best. In that soil, and this is my opinion, and everybody ain't gonna agree with it. And I talk about this over and over because I truly believe in it. Organic matter. I'm into that. Organic matter. Anything that was once living that broke down, you feed it to that plant. Feed it, feed it, feed it. And that helps it grow, because in nature, there is no azomite rock dust or bone meal and all this. Well, technically it is. I ain't get, because when people die, they body rot and you got all that stuff in there, but that ain't what I'm talking about. My tree in the front yard has a bunch of leaves. In the fall, the leaves fall off, and I rake them under the tree and they break down. And next year that tree come back perfect. So if that works so well for that tree, why doesn't it work well for your garden? Truth is, it does. Start composting. Get your leaves, let your leaves break down. Put that at the bottom of your containers, or if you got a raised bed, put that in your raised bed. You can put it on top, let it break down over the fall and winter, and then work it into the soil. That's it. Your eggshells, banana, peelings, all that is organic matter. You can compost it in a composter like I do, or you can place it straight in your soil like I do also. I see a lot of people composting in place. It works. It's feeding the soil. That's all you want to do. You got to feed the soil. If you don't feed the soil, the plant ain't gonna feed you. And that's the bottom line. Feed your soil. If you don't get nothing else out of this live, feed your soil. Your soul will get you where you want to be. Guaranteed. Now let's hit some of these chats. See who don't agree with me. And look, and it's okay not to agree with me. It's not, dude, I don't know everything. Let me see. Aston Teen 85 said, Rosemary, I didn't know you could do carrots in the fall with zone. Yeah, you can do carrots in the fall. Yeah, definitely. You can. That's probably the best time to grow them in the fall. They are cold hardy. They are so freeze resistant. Freeze whatever. Cold hardy. That's the word for it. They're cold hardy. So yeah, carrots grow in the fall. Definitely grow in the fall. I'm growing them in zone 8A, zone 7A, 7B. I think all cool zones you can grow carrots this time of year. I know I've seen some people harvesting carrots out of the snow. As soon as the soil started thawing out, they were harvesting carrots. So yeah, soil health. Growing out the hard lesson learned, bro. From it wasn't just a deer that caused my poor sweet potato harvest. I want to see if a minute will make a difference. 130-day lesson learned. Okay. Look, I was finna say explain it growing out the box in the chat, but I don't know. That might be a good video, so I don't want to take away from that. But when you say a minute will make a difference, let me know about the amendment. Anna Wright say, I have not been able to grow peppers successfully from seed yet. Well, Anna, since you brought it up, put in the chat, how did you start? Did you direct sow them? Did you start them on the inside? If you started them on the inside, was it on the grow light? If it was outside, raised bed, container, or in the ground? Give me some more detail, Anna. That sounds like a good subject. Virtuous Woman say, I'll use worm casting and chicken compost and bat guano from the bats that live under my patio. They eat the mosquitoes while I collect their guano. That's good. That's a win-win situation. I'm scared to death of bats, but if I can work that deal out where they can come down here and eat some mosquitoes and I get they dropping, that ain't bad. Patrice Webb said, what's the best soil combination for strawberries? In ground, where you growing them at? Let me know if you're growing them in containers, in ground, or because personal opinion, in ground or raised bed for strawberries do well for me. I've seen people successfully grow them in containers. It really depends. As all soil, it should be good. It should be well draining, um, but not too loose. Let me know if they're in containers or not, and we'll go. Joseph B. said, I have mulberry trees, harvest their best leaves now for making tea. Very good for controlling blood sugar level. I've heard people talking about that. I got a Pakistan mulberry tree, and I get really big leaves. And I'm like, should I be making tea out of it? I don't want to just, it's not a big tree, so I can't just pull the leaf. But I'm thinking once the leaves start falling off, it won't have all the nutrients in it. So yeah, that is something cool I definitely want to try. Farm people said feeding soil is dope. It definitely is. Because if you ever watch the Lion Chris Outdoor video, he talk about oh, I can't, I'm having a brain fart right now. But he talk about all the things that are in your soil, all the living organisms in there that work together. And you need all that living organisms. Some people who just go outside and just spray and try to kill everything that's in their garden, that's not how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to have things living in your garden because it all works together, like roller poles. People drive themselves crazy trying to kill roller poles. They help compost. Yeah, they chew on small plants, but they help compost your stuff too. You ain't supposed to kill everything that's in your garden. Some things supposed to live there. It's just what it is. Uh, Marla Thomas say, what's the best way to mend the soil in pots? Compost. Compost, compost, compost. Yeah. Compost, slow release fertilizer. That's it. That's all you need. Now, a bunch of other stuff works well. Bone and blood meal does help your soil and things grow well in there. But it's just basic of all that. Compost and slow release fertilizer. Yvonne McFadden said, I rest at least one of my raised beds during the winter and it becomes my compost pile. Good idea. Then in spring, I transport the soil to other beds. Yeah, I'm doing that with my in-ground bed. I just, all the vines and everything that I took down from the summer and spring, I just threw it over there. And one thing about that, it's ground cover. Grass ain't growing through all that mess. Marla Thomas, I asked, kitchen scraps, the pots, and a lot of organic matter to break down over time. Also, if you have ready-to-use compost, you can add to the existing soil in the pots. Exactly. That's the basic bottom of what you need to do to amend your soil. There's all kind of other things that work, blood meal, bone meal, and stuff like that. But you just want to keep soil active. You know what I mean? Here we go. Anna Wright said, I started them outside in one of those greenhouse starter containers. Not, not I got more questions. You mean the peat pellet greenhouse? If it's a peat pellet greenhouse, once that plant start getting size on it start off with 2 leaves. Now, once I get that 3rd leaf, or what's called a true leaf, that's when I start planting. But I plant it depending on what it is, because everything don't like to be transplanted. I like to plant them straight into where they're gonna go with. Or you can up pot it to a big solo cup or whatever. But I don't know. I'm not sure about this. You know what? Email me at brokefarmer76 so I can get all the details and we can figure it out. How about that? And if I don't know, I call Linecrest Outdoors and we'll figure it out. Hey Jay, what's next in the building? Say I started composting one of those small tumbler composters. Should I put some worms in there to help break it down fast? I don't put worms in mine. I don't. Um, I think if you want to use worms, use a worm, a worm bin, or what is it called? Yeah, a worm bin. Go to YouTube and Google worm bin. But I don't. No, it probably will break it down fast, but I'm not putting worms in my compost because that's something different. Yeah, and something else. If you buy worms, I'm gonna tread lightly on this one. If you buy worms like fishing worms and stuff like that, be careful how you introduce outside things into your natural growing space because those worms might interfere with your other worms, the ecosystem, and all kind of weird stuff like that. So do a little research on that before you just start dropping worms in them. But no, I don't put them in mine. If you want to put them in yours, I don't think it'll hurt, but I don't put them in mine. And you said, should I put worms that'll help break it down? I'm to each his own. I don't think it might would break down faster. I don't know. It's not my thing, so I ain't gonna say one way or the other. But if you want to do it, everything starts with an experiment. Everybody does something different that worked for them. I'm not saying it don't work. It sounds like it would work, but if it's a tumbler, you're gonna be tumbling your worms around every day. They're gonna get seasick or something. Another girl homestead says strawberry like sandy soil, at least in Louisiana, but sandy soil in pots or sandy soil in the ground or sandy soil in a raised bed. You know what I mean? It all make a difference depending where you plant it at. I don't know. You say the Ziploc bag method. If you're using the peat pellets, try the peat pellets again. I've had super success with those peat pellets. Some stuff you just got to keep trying until you figure out what you're doing wrong. And right, you got a YouTube channel? Because I feel like we can help you if we get a little more information. Delgado 747 say, catch a replay. I'm buffering like crazy. I'm buffering? No, I'm not buffering. Growing out of the box, said a year before I got 25 pounds of sweet potatoes. I didn't amend with bone meal or weekly feed with Alaska. That more bloom 0 10 10 10 0 10 10 like I did the year before. Yeah, that's amended. I had a nice sweet potato harvest this year, but it wasn't like my sweet potato harvest last year. And that was directly because I wasn't fertilizing like I was last year. I started out heavy with a slow release fertilizer, and then I did 7 days liquid fertilizer, and I didn't do that. Oh, you didn't use the peat pellets? Try the peat pellets. They're pretty easy. You just put them in. They got the 6-cell peat pellets with a dome on it. Put them in there. Put some water, let it fluff up. Put this in there. Put dome on there. You don't have to water it no more. You don't have to do nothing until they get their true leaves and plant them out. And you're done. Janice D. Hannah in the building said, "Can you make tea from all varieties of mulberry leaf?" I don't know. Look, I ain't finna lie to you on here. You're gonna have to Google that. All varieties of mulberry leaf? I don't know, because regular mulberries got small leaves, and my Pakistan mulberry got huge leaves. So I don't know about that. But definitely, anytime you talk about making teas out leaves and stuff like that, do some research and talk to your doctor. If you are taking medicine, please know how all this stuff interact with your medicine before you start trying. And I'm not saying it's not great for you, or are bad for you, but please contact your doctor before you start making any of these teas or anything you see somebody doing on YouTube. Make sure you talk to your doctor because some of this stuff interfere with your medicine and can have some really bad side effects. So that's my thing on that one. Ascertain if you're referring to animals getting into pots, bury your organic matter at the bottom of your pots and cover with soil. I don't have a problem. I missed that. But yeah, Nikki, that makes a lot of sense. Those sweet potatoes must have been massive. 0, 10, 10. Oh, you talking about growing out the box sweet potatoes. I don't know. I don't think I saw yours last year. Desert Lemon Farmer in the building. Say use dry fig leaves for T2. Yeah, a lot of good stuff has great things in that tea, but make sure you're talking to your doctor to see how this stuff interact with your medicine if you're on medicine. Lion Crest says strawberries like soil is similar in texture to blueberry soil without the acidic pH. You could go to the pine bark as the main base along with compost and peat moss. Okay. But all right, the only thing I question about this is, yeah, your pH and acidic soil, yeah. But I still say it depends on what you're growing in, what kind of soil. That's just my thing. The same soil that I use in a raised bed, I use slightly different soil in my containers. So, but I'm gonna tell you like this: the Lion Crest said you buy can put it in the bank. Similar to blueberry. I thought blueberries soil pH was 5.0 to 5.5. I think it's some in that range. I think it's 5.5. I didn't think strawberries like such acidic soil. But to be honest, I did zero research when I put my strawberries in. So maybe I should go back and check that out. And I'm missing a lot in this chat. Oh, here we go. I was thinking fruit flies indoor pots. Yeah. Lion Crest say you could do that. Okay. Soil acidified. So yeah. Unicorn Lighted Text said my blueberry pH 4.5 to 5.5. Yep. So I guess that what Lion Crest mean where you can do without the soil acidified. The soil don't need to be as acidic. I don't think that strawberries. Somebody Google that. What does soil pH for strawberries need to be? I want to say it's 6. Can somebody Google what the pH level for strawberry plants supposed to be? I want to say 6 because blueberries is 4.5, 5.5. So Joseph B say you can put food scraps on the ground and place a hard clear cover container over it, and the earthworms will come. Yeah, definitely. I was reading that you should start your plants inside for about 8 weeks before transplanting them outside. Yeah, and then you got to make sure that you take them outside and get them used to the sunlight and all that before you plant them in there. You can't just take them from inside and just plant them on the outside and hope everything work out. It's probably gonna kill them. All right, Tammy say it's supposed to be 5.4 to 6.5. Okay, that's what I was saying. I didn't think strawberries should be in the same acidic soil. Yeah. So then Lion Crest Outdoors came back and say, yeah, you can do without the acidic soil acidifier because it don't need to be so acidic. So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, please listen to Lion Crest Outdoors. They ain't gonna never tell you nothing wrong on purpose. Talking to Nola Girl, I didn't do it this year, and the results were itty bitties. You can eat them itty bitties too, though. Itty bitty sweet potatoes, eat them. A lot of good conversation. Hey Jay, what's next? Say LOL. No, I see worms crawling around my plants and thought maybe if I put them in the compost, but I won't LOL. I just don't know when the compost is done and put on my plant. It's not breaking down. Um, do some research on your ratios. I think it's green to brown is 2 to 1. So no, I think it's brown is 1 to 2 or something like that. Either way, if it's too wet, put more brown in there. If it's too dry, put more green in there. Yeah, but you got to get your ratios kind of close for it to work. And once it break down and it start looking like soil, then it's good. I just don't know when the compost is done to put on my plants and not breaking down. Yeah, if it's not breaking down, your ratios probably aren't right. Um, Google what the ratios need to be and just kind of work your ratios out. I'm pretty sure that's why it's not breaking down. Compost, peat moss, and sand for my strawberry. Really? See, that's okay. This is why this is so great for all these great gardeners to get in here and talk about. Because, fun fact, I have never used sand before. I've seen people start seeds in sand, put sand on top of the plants to keep gnats down or fruit flies down. I've never used sand. I think I've used peat moss before, and I didn't like the results from that. But everybody else have great results. You don't have to grow like the next person to have good outcomes in your garden. Find what worked for you and roll with it. If you know what I use, growing out the box, use Angela Garden Delight, Josie B, Hey Jay, what's next? And you try a couple, you see what worked for you. But what worked for me might not work for you. Excuse me. But try something. Eventually you're gonna find out what worked. As an herbalist, y'all, please ask your doctor first because some of the medications that one may be on will not mesh well with the herb. Exactly. That's what I was saying. Please talk to your doctor. Please. Patrice Webb say I'm growing in containers. Yeah, I do a little bit of both. Nola Girl Homestead says slugs and snails will eat strawberries grown in ground unless you treat with pesticide. I grow in bathtub and green stalk. Well, no, I don't use no pesticides. No, I use cheap beer. I I found these little huts on Amazon, and I just filled them up with beer. If a snail smell beer, he going to get that beer. Believe me, he going to get that beer. So you don't have to use pesticides. Once a week, clean out just a top. You can put a top or anything. It's just got to be small enough for them to get into it. Put some beer in there. And that got to be good beer. I think I used malt liquor. I did a video about that. Matter of fact, check that video out. But beer works well. Beer attracts snails. You don't have to use pesticides. It's other ways. You can crumble up eggshells. Crunch those eggshells up real fine and throw them in your garden. Once those snails go across the eggshell, it start cutting their body up. Yeah, it's a lot of cool things out there to use. I'm not. You can. It's your garden. You can use pesticides. I'm just talking about mine. Lion Chris said, "Yeah, that's what I said. Don't add acidified. Yeah, yeah." Angela Lightside just testing my soil pH at 6.5 to 7.0. I'm guessing I need to acidify. Look, hey y'all, Lion Chris, I got a question for you. Lion Chris, I'm dropping the link in the bottom. unless you're busy. I can't get to do it right. So copy and paste. So Lion Chris, if you ain't busy, I got a couple questions for you. So I just tested my soil pH is 6.5 to 7. I'm guessing I need acidifier. Not necessarily. What are you trying to grow? Angela's like, what are you growing? Food by Faith Garden Table. I am painting and listening. Did you see the video where I did the mail call? Food by Faith say the easy ratio to follow is 1-to-1, 50% green compost and 50% brown compost. Yeah. And like I say, if it's too wet, you need more brown. If it's too dry, you need more green. And just keep it going like that.
What's up? What's up?
Can you hear me, Q?
I can hear you good.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
I
need a headphone.
Okay, that's what it is. Because I did the sound check. What's up, everybody?
I think I need headphones, Q, because you always have headphones on. I believe you take your headphones off. I won't need my headphones all the time.
Well, I'm about to try something real quick because I don't think I need my headphones.
All right,
can you hear me now? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Can you hear me?
All right, say something now.
Hello?
All right, say something now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Nope. Need a headphone.
What's up, Cheryl? What's up, Cheryl?
All right, I got the headphones in.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, am I echoing? Can you hear yourself? Okay, perfect.
Now look, the reason I know you're a busy man, Q, but the reason I want you to come up here because we're talking about soil and there's a lot of things coming, and I feel like I need a professor on some of this stuff. You know what I mean? I know my knowledge is growing by leaps and bounds, but every now and then I need that Lion Chris spin on some of this stuff. So let's go through some of this stuff. You got a minute?
All right. Yeah.
All right. Food by Faith Garden Table said compost can be made in as little as 6 to 8 weeks if you got the right mix and you got things to break down easy. Or more. Usually it can take a year or more, and that's hard stuff to break down. Facts.
100.
He's a good dude. I'm so glad I did this live today. At home with Cherie said, yes, that's the best advice. You have to just try things. What works for one person might not work for the next. So many factors. Same thing might not work year to year too. Like Q, you are in the same zone I am, 8A.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the things that Q grow, I struggle to grow. And well, Q grow don't struggle to grow a whole bunch of stuff. But I'm just saying, from region to region, it's so much different. How my backyard is. I think Q did live where he talked about microclimates. My microclimate is different. I had a big tree in my backyard that my neighbor had in his yard, and he cut it down. So I have no shade in my backyard now. So now I don't have that microclimate under that tree like I had before.
Right.
Can you delve into some of that microclimate talk, sir, if you don't mind?
Yeah. So basically what it comes down to, so I'll touch on this part, like you said, like, I have success growing a lot of stuff. Well, and I'm gonna try to do a lot better about showing this part about it too. But it's just like we get real happy showing our successes. I'll sit here and I will plant 3 waves of seeds, like 3 different waves of seeds, trying to hit a perfect time window, right? So like if you go outside in my garden right now, you'll see that it's a whole bunch of like baby plants that I started from seed that look like starts from the store or something, but like way healthier. But like the two sets of plants before those plants all died, like all of them. Like, and that's because I tried to like start my seeds right at the tail end of the fall of the summer season going into fall. So when that third wave of seeds hit that perfect time, everything just started living. Like the pill bugs wasn't messing with my stuff no more. Like no pest was messing with my stuff no more. Nothing like that. And all that I sprayed was BT. So just touching on that and really focusing on what you just asked me, bro. Um, it's all about timing. You know, if you're able to get pretty much if like that's why they have the zone set up the way they do because it gives you a general guideline of how the time's supposed to line up and everything like that. But realistically, though, if you lining up that time slot just right, you're gonna have a lot of success. If you even if you don't have the nutrients perfect, obviously you want to make sure that you're amending like you just talked about earlier in the live. You know what I'm saying? But like if you timing that stuff right with the weather, it's gonna help you out a whole lot.
Now, Lion Chris, I know you're familiar with Rambo Green Hand. But look here,
100%.
man.
Oh
I'm,
yes, I'm familiar with our brother Rambo Green Hands. You know.
hey, if you don't look, first off, let's stop for a minute. If y'all ain't familiar with Rambo Green Hand, go over to his channel and look at his allotment garden. He call it allotment garden, right?
Yes.
Dude, he is doing some cool things and some very interesting content. Love his channel. I don't get as much as I watch it, but we watch a Rambo Green Hands video. I am never disappointed. And Q, now Nikki said you may not need to do anything with your soil. Sow your seeds. Our plants will tell us if they need anything. That's how I do it. Oh boy. Oh, she talking to your boy broke right now, Q. She talking to your boy broke. Cause some of this stuff I was doing, man, jeez. Q, and look, Q, I will never forget you say this. When I was putting out that blood and bone meal and what you said I was putting in the ground,
I said you just putting the whole body in the ground.
that's a whole body. I said, and I thought, man, I would look. That's the day my gardening journey changed. I was like, man, I got to stop doing some of this stuff. Then I started looking how much money I had accumulated in this stuff. Dude, I ain't got money like that. So I broke it all down to the basics. I said, hey, I got a tree. What feed this tree? Organic. So I need organic matter that's usually free. And leaves, chicken manure, rabbit manure, coffee grinds you get free from Starbucks, banana peels, egg shells. This stuff is free. And
Well, yes, it's free. And the thing, and another thing about that too is like, you know, continue. I don't want to interrupt you. I want to add to that,
oh
but I don't want to
no,
wait.
no. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, you know, a lot of these amendments that we add to the soil, you know, we don't we don't have to add them into the soil. We can put them on top of the soil as well, but not only that. I mean, obviously, when you top dressing, you're top dressing, right? You're putting the stuff on top, but it's a little bit deeper than that. Like, you know how you'll have partially decomposed wood chips, whether it be like pine, whether it be cedar, whether it be like whatever woods you have that's chipped up on top of your soil, right? Those wood chips, whether it be like hardwood or softwood, it's going to really help facilitate or direct. Think about a composer, like when you go into orchestra and the composer's doing all this with his stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the wood chips is basically going to help be the composer for breaking down your nutrients, because you know how food by faith mentioned earlier. She said that you know, the carbon to nitrogen ratio,
Yeah.
like that's something that you hear a whole bunch of, but really all that is like the wood is carbon, wood or things that are hard is carbon, and you need that kind of stuff there to kind of help make that chicken manure not be too hot. Because if you put that chicken manure on top of the soil by itself, it'll heat up that soil real like to a level to where it might burn the plants. But just you having some wood chips there is going to help break down those amendments and give them to the plant in a healthy way. I'm not really trying to break that down and go all into that right now because this is Broke's live, and then this is not exactly what we're talking about. But we're just taking a little side stuff, right?
Because we have to stop in between every statement, and I have to ask questions about that particular statement. But look, growing out the box, Berkeley composting. I'm not familiar with that, but as soon as I get off here, I got it wrote down. I'm gonna do some research into that. And it's a bunch of cool things that come out of these lives, man. Astatine 85 said, yeah, I put crushed eggshells and I didn't have any problem. The birds and frogs kept the tomato worms out this year too. And dude, that's a key point. Sometimes you gotta let nature work with nature to work things out. Sometimes we fight nature, just fight nature. And I think that's why gardening for me was so hard at first, because I was just fighting and fighting, like protecting my blueberries. And dude, look here. Once I grow enough blueberries, it'll be enough for me, the birds, and the neighbors to eat. So that's not an issue. I fought that, covering them, and dude, that's too much. I'm not fighting nature anymore. I'm going with nature.
So,
Growing up,
bro, as far as blueberries, because I know you're talking about blueberries real quick, taking a little stop on that. Like, um, what do you think has given you the most success as far as you harvesting blueberries off your plant? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, like, you telling me that you were harvesting the blueberries that you did harvest, you gave me the inspiration, the motivation to go to that nursery and buy those 2 blueberry plants that I got in the garden right now.
and look, I've been eating blueberries few and far between. Let's start there. Few and far between, but I've tasted them and they were delicious. But once I got my blueberry plant in the ground, that's when they started doing good. And everybody is good at their own method of growing. Me growing blue fruit trees besides citrus, I'm good at citrus and container. But besides citrus and containers, don't work that well for me. I'm doing something wrong, I'm sure. And I think it's the mix. Because once I got my citrus mix right, I, I was out to the races with that. But I, I've been eating off my blueberry, but I haven't harvested enough to do a video. Let's put it that way. You know, you know when you harvest 6 or 7 at a time, you really can't do a video about harvesting 6 blueberries. But you know,
Well, how many blueberry plants do you got out there?
8. I think I got
Okay.
8.
So you really looking at like, so you'll go out, you'll get your few blueberries and stuff right now, but like come next season, with you doing the right amendments, with you like improving the soil around it and stuff, you might be going out there and harvesting 18 to 22. You know what I'm saying? So you harvesting 6 to 7, 8 right now, and then you might go out there literally every day and be harvesting 18 to 22 blueberries. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah, I mean, and that's a long range goal because I got like 4 different varieties, and a lot of my plants were small plants that you know how you buy a little the clearance rack. So a lot of them was a clearance rack and they were smaller plants. So I spent the whole $12 this time. I think it was the whole 12, and I got bigger plants. So hopefully next year, like you say, I have bigger harvests and bigger harvests going forward. But I don't. It would have been better, but I went the cheap way. You know how it is. I'm gonna go the cheap way in a lot of ways, no matter how much good information you tell me. Look, Joseph B said I am experimenting with overwintering some sweet potato that I planted very late. I'm hoping they pick back up and finish growing when the weather warm back up. I think they're gonna rot. To be honest.
Yeah, I've never heard of sweet potatoes being overwintered. I'm not going to stop you from doing your experiment if that is what it is. You know what I mean? But a lot of times with sweet potatoes, they're so easy to propagate that, like, basically, so say you have a plant that's about to be done for the season and you're about to harvest your sweet potatoes. You could take like 3 little clips of a vine off that harvest right there, put it in a cup of water, and I guarantee you in about 3 days, that bad boy gonna have roots on it. So, like, you go ahead.
No, 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 no. You're 100% because once I pull my sweet potato vines up, I just threw them on the little when I'm composting in place, and they everywhere now. Just throwing them over there. So how Lion Chris saying put them in water, dude, you off to the races.
Yep. That's what I do every winter. Like I'll just put them in water and my plant will get so big in the house that I'll have to basically take a cutting off the plant in the house and start it over before the season even starts. That's how big the plant will get in the house.
And then my first sweet potatoes I ever grew, I don't know who, I watched somebody video where they just took a sweet potato and put it in some water. I did it. I got and I just got it from Kroger. This is no it's not ideally it ain't the sweet potato I wanted, but it's a sweet potato I had access to.
It was the
So
video you did with the lab coat on, wasn't it?
no, that was this year.
Oh, okay, okay,
The
okay.
one last year, it was just I saw somebody else do it and I did it. I got vines and all right, I'm gonna tell y'all something that is scientifically wrong, is all outdoors, but it worked for me. And that's what we talk about experiences in here. That's what we talk about. I overplant my sweet potatoes. It's, I know it's gonna hurt Q a little bit to hear this, but like a 20-gallon container, put probably 10 slips in there and grow them like that. That is not how you should do that. That is not how you should do that. But it works for me. It works for me. So I'm just saying, I feel like you get bigger harvests if you put more slips in a container, which ideally what it should be like 4 or 5 and 20-gallon. If you section it off, something like that. Yeah, I go 10. So yeah. Q, how many sweet potato slips you put in 20-gallon?
Um, so I remember you remember what last year the video I did to where I didn't have a good harvest last season. I put like four slips in that 20-gallon trash can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but this year I'm pretty much this harvest will determine for me at least. I don't think that trash can was a great container shape for growing sweet potatoes because I think that does play into the harvesting numbers that you can get off of it. But to your point, I think that there has to be like a limit, right? Like, oh, like you say that you're gonna put maybe 8 to 10 sweet potatoes and like slips inside of that 20-gallon. But at the same time, you're not putting 30 inside that 20-gallon. You know what I mean? You ain't put
Yeah.
30 in there. But I'm just sitting here like I'm really, to be completely honest with you, I'm just sweet potatoes. I've had good success with it, and I've had not good success with it. It's one of those things where I'm still really trying to figure out exactly what all of the things are to make you have success with it.
I know one problem I had, I didn't fertilize enough. I can tell you that off the jump. Um, I should have fertilized more, and I know I should. Um, I didn't put enough slow release fertilizer in the soil when I planted the slips. That's another thing. And I didn't water as often. So, and I had a good sweet potato harvest this year. It was, I got them once I got them cured. I got them in the house right now. I got plenty of sweet potatoes to last through the summer. I mean the winter and the fall. But I look back to that first one, and this one I had more sweet potatoes, but last year they just were huge.
Yeah, I
Those
remember. I
big.
remember last year you had some hunkers last year. You had some really really big sweet potatoes.
So it's sometimes it's just your harvest. Your harvest ain't always be the same. I mean, you can know everything you need to do for that plant, everything that could go wrong with but just sometimes it just don't grow. It's just what time.
True.
Uh,
Blues.
let's try gardening in the building. Glad to have you in here. Blues Clues in the building. Psalm 146 in the building. And look, everybody, it's a lot of zone eights in here. Start. And you know what I love about this chat Q? Good conversation. Going out the box, talking to Miss Shirley OG Gardens. He said that's a great way of starting your compost using a lawnmower. One of my favorites, good way to chop and drop. There's so much good information in here. Q.
Truth.
So much.
The only thing that I don't like about and it's nothing. You'll get what I'm saying when I say it. The lawnmower is perfect at starting compost. I mean, you can't say it's not right. It's perfect. But the only thing that I would say look out for is do not mulch in grass that has seed heads on it. If you got seed heads on your grass, like don't put that in your compost. Like yes, because I'll tell you this: if you're not perfectly hot composting, that 6 to 8 week compost that they was talking about, if you ain't doing that perfectly, them grass seeds gonna be in your compost for the rest of its existence.
And this something this one a blueberry I'm looking for now. The pink lemonade blueberry. Can what no, that wasn't the pink one you had.
Think about the blueberry I'm talking about that I have, right?
Yeah. Is that pink blue?
It's a Florida rose, and I'm gonna look for the same variety at the. I'm gonna look for another one of it. It just hasn't had any new growth. It might still be good. I'm not gonna just get rid of it because
Yeah.
I'm just. I've never grown blueberries before I've had these plants. One of the plants, the Tiff Rose, you can see the new growth. And the new growth on the blueberries is funny. That stuff comes in. It blueberries grow different than other plants. And you probably noticed this, right? Like the
Yeah.
new growth will come in like yellow. And then it'll turn over time, it'll turn green. It's like it'll
Yeah.
come in a certain color and then it'll change a different color.
Yeah. It come in real light.
Yeah. And like the Florida Rose, which is another pink variety of blueberry, similar to the pink lemonade, I guess. That one, I haven't seen any new growth at all on it. But with these woody plants, they're tricky. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. These woody plants, like
Yeah.
you can sit there and you can throw them away or whatever, but they could be healthy that next season if you let them just get some rest.
And and okay, Food by Faith Garden Table say pink lemonade, blueberries take a line 3 years old, and put on 2 blueberries this year. I got mine from Trusted Farm. All right. First off, when you buy a fruit tree, any citrus tree, you don't know the history of that tree. So everything right and that tree still dies, that doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. That is not what that means. Sometimes some trees weren't treated right in the beginning and they just break down over time. Some people beat themselves up. I try to figure out why my trees die. If I don't come to an acceptable answer in my eyes, it was a tree fault.
I can make that make a whole lot of sense, bro. So think about this. Those people who own the nurseries, they're wonderful, brilliant, smart, amazingly genius-based people. But think about what workforce we got out there right now and think about how much they care about what they're doing.
Yes. Yes. It's not like you have people, okay, the people that run the nurseries are probably the most educated ones, when classes, and when I say educated, I mean college or experience. Those are people who own it and then are running it. But those people that's fertilizing them every day and watering them, it's just a job for them. It is it is not what they went to school for. It is not their passion. They know all they know is I got to water that plant. I got to fertilize that plant. That's all they know, and they go from there. So you have no idea what you're getting with some of these trees. So don't stop beating yourself up about these trees. It's all right.
So like imagine if you know how like some of the fertilizer things say, make sure that you add 3 to 6 teaspoons of fertilizer per gallon of soil or something like that, right? And then you got somebody who's working at the nursery who's adding the plants to the pots, and they might be adding tablespoons to that bad boy instead of teaspoons.
I'm gonna tell you crazy. I find out my favorite nursery. I went there. I'm a talker, so when I go to these places, I talk to these people. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So I asked them, "Hey, how often do y'all fertilize these fruit trees?" They said every week. What? 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 You are fertilizing these trees every week? And you ever went to the nursery and you wonder why a plant so small have fruit on it? This is why.
Oh yeah.
This is why. They fertilize them and over fertilize them. And by the time you get them and you fertilize them once a month or once a season, fall, spring, summer, whatever, and it's not producing, you're like, man, when I bought it had fruit on it. That's why they got these plants and trees so stressed out from all this fertilizer. Dude, when you get that tree home, it's just like this. It's bouncing. It's bouncing off the wall because it got all this good stuff in it. Soon itching. And soon as it goes 3 weeks without fertilizer, you've broken up that routine. It is not the same routine no more. So anytime you change something in a plant's routine, the plant reacts to it. So when you get home and you're not fertilizing every week like these people did, it's gonna change. And I don't think people understand that. That's crazy to me when he told. I couldn't believe it. I was waiting for him to literally start laughing, but it is not the same. So, and no, you should not fertilize your fruit trees every week. No, you should not. Unless it's what I'm gonna take that back. Unless it's a real small NPK, really, really small. But you still can't do that in the winter. Don't don't fertilize your trees in the winter at all. Don't do that. Because you telling this tree to grow when it's supposed to be dormant. It makes no sense. And in nature, a tree that's outside is going dormant this time of the year. If you fertilize
I'll
them,
be right back. 1 second. I'm gonna check on these collard greens. I'm gonna come right back.
all right. If that tree is dormant and you fertilize, tell trees and plants, hey, you need to start fruit. You need to start producing. And that's not what it's time to be doing. So, yeah. Older say they on them drugs. That's something like that. Growing out the box, an 18-day compost. First few days, you get 160 degrees. Turn on day 4, then every 2 days, every 2 weeks, it will kill all grass seeds. Ooh, okay. I don't really put, now I will put moist up grass around my fruit tree, but I don't put it in my compost. I just don't. At home with Cherie, am I safe? Oh no, it's just on here. At home with Cherie said, that's how I feel about these cousins I keep killing. It's not my fault. It's the cousin's fault. These cousins are bad for my self-esteem. No, on your cousins, make sure you do a dome. I feel like the domes work way better. And if you don't have a dome set up, get 1 cup that's has color all around it at the bottom. Put your soil in there. Uh, cut your scion at the bottom. Put your root hormone, honey, or aloe on it. Put it in the soil. Put a clear cup on top. Get a piece of tape and wrap it around the side. That is your dome. Let that go to the pop leaves. Give it a week after that. Plant in some soil. To me, that works the best. Miss Keel Park say, how do you propagate the citrus? Just like that, I just say Miss Keel. Or I'm just taking cuttings off my mild lemon and score at the bottom of it, put root hormone in it, and just put it in the soil and just kept it moist. I don't do anything fancy with it. But I do feel like the dome method worked the best. Soil in a colored cup, not a clear cup at the bottom, because you don't want your roots to get sunlight. A red solo cup, soil, well drained the soil, mix them with perlite, a bunch of perlite, and score you're cutting at the bottom, put it in your soil. No, score, put some root hormone, aloe, honey, whatever, put it in the soil, put a clear cup on top of it to make a dome action, and put some tape around the size of it. You got a dome for $2. Can't go wrong. And every cutting ain't gonna make. Let's start there. I don't know who started this. That every cutting you take is gonna take root. It's not. It's not. If you are really good at taking cuttings, you'll get 60 to 70% of your cuttings to root. That's real good, top-notch nursery. If you ever go to a nursery and you see them taking cuttings, they take a bunch of them. A bunch of them. No plant is guaranteed to live. It's just not.
Have you ever heard of like a arrow cloner?
What is that?
So like there's
I'm on Google.
So like and you can find them on Google, Amazon, whatever, but like basically it's like it has these, you know, those soft things that you can kind of put plants in, but it's like it's not degradable. You can just wash them off though. It's like it's not
Like,
styrofoam, but it's
yeah, that they use in the in the hydroponics.
Yeah, so like that, but like so it's like it comes basically back in the day you'd have to build an arrow cloner because they would sell them for like hundreds of dollars or whatever. But right now you can find them for like 35, $40. And like it basically has like 24 slots or it'll have like 18 slots on it. And you put the stem of the plant inside that like that soft thing that's squishy. And then on the bottom of it, it has like an air stone bubbler kind of a deal to where it basically sprays the roots, like sprays the stem constantly. So when the roots come out, it'll just spray them, and it's like the best cloner that you can use as far as like success. But like you said, still it won't be 100% because you're talking about trying to get something to happen like that. But with arrow cloners, I've seen people have about like 80 to 85% success.
What? You mean my germination rate? What? Okay.
Well, like if you're just taking say like a cut like a tomato or a pepper and you're taking a piece of this, you're taking a stem off, right? And you cut all the leaves off, and then because okay, so let's talk like technique for like 5 seconds, right? Whenever I take a cutting, I cut every single big leaf off that's not like the little internode. You know, like the between the leaves, there's like a little baby plant that's about to come out.
Yeah.
I'll keep those there, but I'll cut every single big leaf off the plant, except for the very, very top where it's about to grow, you know, like at the very top. I'll leave that part. Then I'll put the stem of the plant inside of like whatever thing I'm using to clone with. And I'm telling you, like, if you cut all the leaves off, it'll make the success go through the roof. But then if you have like constant oxygen and water in your environment, it will make that. I'm envious of certain people because I know people right now that literally will clone things and have 95% success all year round. But it's I'm telling you, like, so you know how we garden and we're getting better every year at gardening. I'm talking about cloning is just like gardening, but it's something totally different, and it's like it's a different set of skills completely, bro. Like, and you probably know this, bro. You know this because like you deal with getting like you do tree cuttings and stuff, so you have an idea of what I'm talking about when I say that getting cuttings is an acquired skill, just like something's acquired taste.
Yeah, but this is the other thing that people need to understand. Thing does not clone well. People hear me when I say this. I've taken hundreds and literally hundreds of cuttings. Citrus trees, for me, I've seen some people with not so much look. Citrus trees clone easy to me, very easy.
Okay.
Fig trees clone very, very easy. Literally, with a fig tree, you can put it in some soil. Literally. I ain't say score the bottom. I didn't say none of that. Fig trees clone easy. Some things are very hard to clone. Peach.
Let me answer this real quick with at home with Cherie. So Cherie was asking me. She said that she's going to use one of those arrow cloners that I was talking about this winter. She's going to try it out and trial it and stuff. And I told her I was really excited to see her try it out. But she also was asking my thoughts on how I feel about how that particular cutting machine would work for trees. I'm just as intrigued about that as you, Cherie. So let me know how that works out for you on your tree cuttings because that's something that I want to really improve on. I know Broke, he's got his technique down for tree cuttings and stuff like that. I want to figure out some techniques for tree cuttings myself, and that's one of the trials I want to run. So let us know.
Now, and I will say this, in my experience, the woodier the cutting is, the domes work better. If it's something like, I took a bunch of citrus cuttings, and it wasn't woody part of the citrus. It's just, the soft parts
like
of
the
it.
green part.
The green part. It grow well in just regular soil. Just regular soil. I did nothing extra. But I feel like the woody cuttings you take should go in a dome. And that's what works for me. I think the dome works awesome.
You want to hear something? You want to hear something that I've tested out before with regular plants and had a lot of success with? That I'll try this out with tree cuttings as well. But I want to try this, and I want to try the arrow cloner as well. But it reminds me of something that you've done, bro. Like as far as getting your woody cuttings to root. Like basically, I'll take like the Jiffy pellet, the trays they come in.
Yeah.
I'll take a nice sturdy version of one of those trays because they're not all built equally. Some of them are flimsy, some of them are sturdy. I'll take a sturdy one. I'll fill it up to the top. Bless you. Bless you. I'll fill it up to the top with perlite. and just
I see that.
make like a raised bed of just perlite. But what I'll do is, you know those so check this out right here. Let me see. So this right here. So this right here is like what people use for like a fish tank or like use for
Oh
like
yeah,
putting the
yeah.
air stone on the end of it. Like, so you take this and you get one of those long air stones and you basically bury it. You bury it inside the tray of perlite. And then you just plug this up and keep it running the whole time. But you fill it up 3/4 of the way full with water and you just have oxygen going inside that perlite the whole time. So imagine, and that's the cheap way of doing it, right? So put these woody cuttings inside that dome and just let that bad boy sit in there for like a month. Just refill that water every time it gets probably like halfway low and just refill it.
Wow. Now you know what, Keith? That sounds like a great video. Great video. So when we gonna see that? We're gonna see that video.
I'll do that video real soon here. I just want to make sure that I have tree cuttings, a good stock to start out with. And I got the cuttings that Juicing with Jay sent me for the pomegranate trees, and I know that they're still good. So I might just go ahead and do a video with those. But I want to get a few more and have maybe like 8 of them in there, you know what I mean? And just let it sit in there for a month.
Now those cuttings that Juicing with Jay sent me last year, the white pomegranate. I did the same thing with all 3 of them. Only one made it through, and it is huge. And it just showed me every cut I ain't gonna make it. I did all 3 cuts the exact same way, and it just didn't make it. It is what it is. I don't worry about it. I just take a bunch of cuts. Oh, and something else. Joseph B said the limbs are long enough, just bury the tip in a pot or straight root, cut them loose, and you got a new plant. Yeah, that'll work too. I mean, something else though. I also found that the longer the cutting is, the less likely it is to root. Ideally,
Yeah.
your cutting should be 6 to 8 inches with 3 or 4 nodes on it in the ground. That's what I've seen work. I've seen other people that work for. But you got to think, if you got let's say a 12-inch cutting, that's a lot of life. Remember, your roots support the structure. So you got to grow roots fast to support that 12-inch structure. You know what I mean? Just think about it in those terms. If you got a 6 to 8-inch cutting, those roots ain't got to be long to support that structure. I don't know if that makes sense to everybody, but just think about it in those terms to make it easier.
It makes perfect sense. But you know what else too, though, that so what you just said brings in another element that I think a lot of people aren't considering with cuttings and propagation. If plants don't feed through their roots, the only other way that you can feed plants is through their stomata, or put quite simply, through their leaves or through their stems. You can spray a plant foliar while it's in a cutting phase trying to get roots. And you can spray it with things like kelp mixtures and things like that to initiate rooting faster. You can spray it with things there are certain types of nitrogen that you can mix up and you can spray on plants that it can absorb easier through their stems and through their, because everywhere where you see green on a plant, it's a mouth. This is the trippiest stuff that you're about to hear probably. But like everywhere where you see green on a plant, or even brown if it's woody, it has a mouth on it. And that's what I mean by the stomata. Like, so basically the stomata is, okay, so you know how sometimes at nighttime leaves will droop down like they're asleep? So that's because the stomata are closed. When the sun comes out, it opens up its mouth to be able to eat the sun. Plants literally eat the sun out of the sky. Like they have mouths on their leaves that let them eat the sun. The same mouths on their leaves that let them eat the sun let them eat nutrients as well. And this is one of the keys to having better success with cuttings that take a long time is being able to feed the plant even though it's not eaten through the roots.
Tammy said I put a whole plum tree limb in the ground and the root is doing fine. Now, Tammy, let's be honest now. That was 1 in 1,000 because I can tell you, I tried the same method with mulberry, and I don't mean any mulberry. I mean mulberry that was growing around the corner. I took probably 1 foot long cuttings, and I just put holes in the ground, scored them at the bottom, put some rooting hormone, and covered them up. I was zero for however many I had in there. So yeah, it will work sometime because a tree naturally want to grow, but I don't think. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, Tammy was saying the plum tree roots easy specifically. I think she was saying.
I mean, I do have an air layer on one of my plum trees that I hope it doesn't get too cold. I'm just, and then I don't know. As long as it don't get below 35, 40 degrees, I think it'll last. I probably need 30 more days to get good roots. Trees like mango, avocado, oranges, cherries, peaches, and others take their leaf and try propagate and experiment. From the leaves, I feel like that's a long growing time.
I know what they're talking about. I know there was a video in this. I know it was a really popular video because it popped on my feed, and it was like one of those videos that you don't know who it is, but it's just like a ton of views in like a few days, right?
Yeah.
And that video specifically was what Desert Farmer is talking about. They took up tropical plant's leaf and they rooted it off the leaf and grew and was growing the whole plant off just the leaf alone.
Yeah, but from a leaf cutting to harvest time, it's got to be 7 years,
Oh
6, 7
man,
years.
you talking about yeah, if you ain't got time on your hands, that's not the direction you want to go. But I thought that yeah, as far as it working, yeah, but like it will take an insurmountable amount of time.
Yeah. And it's something else I'm gonna try to do. And all right, so I'm thinking about trying blackberry cutting next season. Um, I thought about that also about black, but I'm thinking I don't want no more blackberries. Um,
See you later, Miss Native.
who?
Miss Native said she was leaving.
All right, Miss Native, we'll see you next time. Um, at home, with Cherie said that's YouTube magic. Look, let me tell you something about that YouTube magic. It exists a whole lot more than you think. A whole lot more than you think. Um, if you plant seeds, you get plants. If you never see somebody planting seeds and they got plant, I feel like it's a background story that need to come from somewhere. That's all I'm saying. That's I'm just gonna leave that there. But
Well,
you
and
know,
that's you right. Like you right, and it's like sometimes you'll have, and I'm not calling no one out in specific because I'm kind of notorious for this. If because I get to just working and I forget to post a video for a while sometimes. But like you'll see people who will literally just like you will see nothing from them, and then it's like they'll just have a huge harvest. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of was me on that bowl of greens video till I posted my update this morning, right? Like, I mean, because I haven't posted an update for like a month and a half, and then I come, hey, this how we harvest at Lion Creek. I'm just like,
hey, ta-da! Here you go. Yeah, I don't know. And then when I post some of them videos about plant seeds and it's a super boring video, you're like, oh my God, why is he posting this? Just for that, because when I see people with these big harvests, I want to know, well, how did you plant them? How did you space them? You know, what was the soil temperature like? What was the condition outside? Do you plant right after the rain? Do you plant right before the rain? Do you pre-moisten the soil or do you moisten after the soil? What do you do? I be want to see that. I be want to see everything. And some people, I follow them because they put everything in the video. The stuff
I
that
was
you
about to say, you
I'm a,
basically teaching people how to make a good video, like a great video. You teaching people how to make like the best videos out there, to be honest. And that's a lot of work, but you're right.
that somebody who do that I really like, hands in the dirt. If he grow anything, he gonna show you that seed video. Plant the individual seeds. He show you how he space. He show how he put them in his bed, what he's thinking about, his irrigation system. I mean, I don't know. Everybody don't need to see all that. Let's understand something about people who watch YouTube videos. Everybody ain't looking for the same thing. Let's start there. Most people don't like seeing that stuff. Me, myself, I love it. I love it. But everybody's different. Some people just want to see the harvest. So however you make your video or however you like your video. Yeah.
Have you seen those videos where it's pretty much exactly what you're talking about, but like the highest level of it? It's like they'll basically be doing a video in real time, but they'll weave in time lapses in that video. Like they'll
Oh
plant
yeah.
some seeds inside of like a shoebox or something. They'll time lapse you to that next step of the planting process. Then they'll real time do something and then time lapse you to the end of it and harvest it. I'm like, I
Yeah.
know how long it
Yeah.
took you to do that, and that's just like, God, dog, like.
Hey, I've tried that time lapse thing. That is time consuming. Oh my goodness. Like it's a cool video if you got that much time, but who has that much time usually?
You know what? Nope. People really don't, but at the same time, a lot of people who do stuff like that, they might have a channel where they just do a regular update. Then they'll have a channel to where they might release 2 videos a year, but it's that kind of video.
But even when they do it like it's gonna get views, but I don't know. Jeez, I couldn't imagine. You gotta film that plant every day, or they have just a camera. I don't even know how they do that. You gotta have a camera there for a long time.
I bet how they do it is they have people, because here's the thing: if you got people who do your SEO work for you, who do your editing for you, and all that stuff, if you only have to do the filming of it, it makes a little bit more sense at that point, because you might have a schedule written out for your day or whatever, and then you might just be doing a little piece of that every day, and then you just send it off to somebody, and then they put it all together for you. But that's kind of ingenuine. I wouldn't say it's not genuine, because everybody got their own grind and everybody does things the way they do it.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, you may never know the YouTuber that you admire, that you think is the best in the world. They may just be the best in the world, but they got a team behind them too. Like, so you can't get so caught up in like, oh man, like this person is doing it like this, so I need to do it like this. You got to stay focused on what you can do or what you can pay for. Let's be real about it. Like,
let's dive into this one right here. From SF Gate article, propagating grafted trees by airline is not recommended. Rooted branch from a grafted tree does not express all the characteristics of the parent tree. Propagating grafted trees by airline is not recommended. Well, I don't know who told you that.
I see what they're saying. I was wondering, I was like, so I get it. You want to touch on that and talk about it a little bit?
I'm just going to tell you my opinion on it. I'm not going to give you much science behind it. Rooted branch, and I want to read it slow so I really understand what it's saying. Propagating grafted trees by air layer is not recommended. It goes on to say rooted branch from a grafted tree does not express all the characteristics of the parent tree. I don't agree with that, because the root stock is at the bottom. The grafted tree is on the top. So if you air layer from the top, that is the true tree. That is not the grafted the root stock. The root stock is at the bottom. The true tree is growing on the top. So if you pull any limb off the top, it is true to the age of the tree that's growing on top of the root stock. It has nothing to do with the root stock. So you will get all the characteristics of that parent tree. You will. 100% of the time.
So I have a question. Let me ask you this, bro. Why did they put that true tree on top of that root stock to begin with?
To make it more cold hardy or disease resistant, or you know what I mean? For whatever. Let's say the tree is not that cold hardy, or probably not cold hardy is not a good one. It makes it more disease
resistance. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
So, like, do you think that if you took a piece of that true tree without taking that rootstock that it was put onto, the roots that come off that true tree, do you think that the roots will have the same disease resistant capabilities as that rootstock that it came from?
No.
And that's what I think that they're trying to say. I think that y'all are
No.
both right in what y'all are trying to say, but they're trying to say that you might not have the same disease resistance. You'll get the same fruit and stuff, but it might.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that makes more sense. Okay. So yeah, I'm getting a tree, but I'm losing all the disease resistant, cold hardy, and everything else that the rootstock provide. I got you. Okay. You know what? Acetine 85. Hey, I appreciate when you make me and Q think about it for a minute. At home, Cherie said yes, but it takes a plant 180 days to grow from seeds. You have to remember to keep filming the growth. I grow way too many things and do too much to dedicate my time to filming one plant like that. Big facts. Now look, I'm gonna head out. Look, I don't had a great time. I want to thank all the moderators, Lion Chris, growing out the box.
Thank you for having me up here.
Growing out the box. I didn't even ask you, did you want to be a moderator? I just bestowed it upon you. And
what did growing out the box mean by age for fruiting? I want to, if you got time, if you could answer that real quick, because he just said that, and I wanted to just.
Hey, growing out the box, let us know what you mean by age by fruit. Age for fruiting. Growing out the box, Nikki, appreciate it. Miss Shirley OG, appreciate it. Appreciate all the mods that was in the chat today. I appreciate y'all coming through and making this chat so much fun and so much easier. And as always, I go off topic a whole bunch, but it's a good conversation to me. So I hope you enjoyed that conversation. But here we go. Growing out the box, say grafting shortens the time for fruit. Big facts, because it's the true age of the tree. If the tree is 3 years old, once you take an air layer off that tree, that air layer is 3 years old. You concur with that, Q?
I concur.
So, here we go. I just saw homestead in the hood. Oh my God. Homestead in the hood. How do you stop the rootstock from growing up with the tree that was grabbed to it? Cut the little suckers that grow on it. You got to cut all them off. Cut all the suckers off. ERETABE. What's up? I don't want to mispronounce your name. I'll watch your videos. I love your fig videos, but I don't want to mispronounce your name. I think it's Eritz.
Hey, let me ask y'all something about these fig videos. I be seeing y'all eat these figs, and y'all be eating them without the skin. Y'all be eating the inside of the figs out. Why y'all do that?
I don't eat the skin.
Hands in the dirt don't eat the skin either. You don't eat the skin. Hands in the dirt don't.
I don't know. I haven't tasted the skin.
The skin is amazing.
I just don't. It don't look amazing. It don't look amazing. I don't know. It didn't look amazing.
I want you to do a poll, bro. I want you to do a poll on that. Who eats figs with the skin and who don't? Because I'll hop on that quick.
All right, now first off, it's a lot of different fig varieties. Let's start there now. Like that strawberry Verdon. I thought the outside was gonna be reddish, but it was green. So I was like, well, I don't want to eat the green one. But now on the Celeste fig, it's a purple on the outside. I would eat that whole fig.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Hey, look what I just started in the chat, bro.
Pescatarian says she eat the whole thing. Acetine 85, the fig skin. The skin, you peel it? No, I just don't eat it. Acetine said, you can eat. See, this is the other thing. You can eat kiwi skin too. I don't like kiwi skin. I don't think it tastes good. And it don't look good. I don't like peach. I see people eat peach skin. I don't eat the skin off peaches. It just look furry. I don't want to put furry stuff in my mouth.
Hey, to be honest, I'm just seeing how long I can get you to stick around, even though you said it's time for you to go.
I ain't growing out the box. I have a 4-year-old avocado that could take up to 8 years to fruit if not grafted. Big facts. But that's the cool part of growing some of these fruit trees, though. I mean, wondering, will this year be the year? Like, I got a grapefruit and I got a blood orange out there that I've had for 1 year that hasn't fruited yet. It's just a countdown. Every year I know I'm a year closer to getting this fruit. Now I got satsumas that I probably harvest the end of this month, and I got satsumas and Murcott tangerines that I'm harvest this month. But the rest of that stuff, I'm waiting. I'm getting more than that. I got lime quad already, and I got kumquat, the miwa that's gonna be ready to end this month. But waiting is the fun on some of those fruit trees.
Oh, I bet.
Anyway. But fruit skins are the most nutrient dense. Same with potatoes and yam. Yeah, I don't like those skins either.
Hey, you skin. What do they skin? What do they say? I can't figure out the word I was trying to make, but you are like you're like prejudiced against the skins. You don't eat any of the skins of anything.
I'm a skinist.
Exactly.
Hey, there's a farmer say, man, I'm a fig maniac, and I collect fig varieties and eat the whole thing. I have over 17 types. I think I got five or six fig varieties, and I like them. I want more fig varieties, but I don't. I don't know if that makes sense to you. I really like growing them, but I don't know. I like growing them, but I don't want to eat 100 figs a year. I don't know if that makes sense. Figs is something to me that's good in small portions. I feel like if I eat a whole bunch of figs, I'm not gonna like them all the time.
You could be the fig pie man. You could be the man that's slanging the fig pies, man.
Look, first off, that strawberry Verdon fig, it was way better than I expected. It had a strawberry taste to it. You know how some of the names of these fruit trees had nothing to do with the taste? Not that one. It has a strawberry taste to it. Oh my goodness.
I honestly believe that the fig is, because of how sugary the fig is, I believe that the fig has the most potential for like taste to be different between each fig. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have so many different figs and they can all taste so different because they're so sweet. They're naturally super sweet.
Now let me say something, Joseph B right now. You from the peach state and don't eat the skin? Blasphemy. Here, look here.
Wait, you don't eat peach skin?
No. It's got fur on it, dude. It's got fur on it. It's got fur. I don't want that. Like kiwi got fur.
Said the skin gonna go.
No, not me. Niggas say skinless. There you go, nigga. Anna Rice say I'll eat the fig skin if it don't look sketchy. But the kiwi skin make my lips itch, so I peel it. Yep. I've had the lip itch. Growing out the box say, so how long do you think my lemon should take? It was grown from seed, 5 foot tall, 2.5 years ago. From seed, I don't know if it ever fruit.
Man, hey, they say citrus from seed be taking 7 years on them, boy.
And that's not a guarantee that it's gonna fruit.
Yeah.
And if it do fruit, it could be a lemonish type. But you know what? Who knows? It probably end up tasting exactly like you want in 6 or 7 years.
You remember Dan's permaculture food forest? He planted from seed a guava, like one of his guava plants, and he got his guava from seed. Like I think it was this past season. And he said it turned out wonderful, and that he literally motivated me to want to plant more like trees from seed. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it'll be like a project sitting off to the side a little bit, but I mean, it's you know.
And just back on that lime quat, I got one piece of fruit off of this year, and you know what it tastes like? A small lime. But anyway, I got 3 seeds out of it, and I put them in a plastic bag, and I put it on top of the refrigerator in a Ziploc in a little paper bag method. I don't know. We're gonna see. But And I did that because of damn permaculture food forest. I saw him. He just literally dropped seeds in the backyard. Say came from a tree in Georgia. Now, I think that makes a difference too. It's from a native tree in Georgia. So it's used to the region, is used to the weather, is used to the environment. I don't know. I think you got better odds with that one growing out the box. I think 7 years, you might have a great lemon tree because it's used to the environment where you're already in. I think that makes more of a difference than people think. Getting stuff from your environment should grow better.
I agree. I think it would make a bigger difference.
Generations of stuff that you grew in your yard. That's once you collect those seeds, it should grow better.
100%. I think I would agree. I mean, chances are it should grow better. Yeah. But
what's up?
Hey, bro, I'm about to get on off here, my brother.
But why is you holding me up for getting? I was finna get off here 15 minutes ago. You hanging out?
You're the host. You got to close out last. You the host.
Well, look, you stay there till I hold out. Look,
okay.
Appreciate everybody in the chat.
I'm here for it.
Hey, I gotta go eat, man. Look here. I ate earlier and I had the itis, and then I worked it off. Now I need to eat, so I get the itis. I got to go work in the morning. So
I need my second nap.
My second nap. So I appreciate everybody in the chat. It was a great chat as usual. And if you didn't get enough out the chat, it's because you didn't put enough in the chat. So look here, I'm gonna leave that on your heart, and we're gonna get up out of here, y'all. Peace. Anything you gotta say, Q?
Hey, much love. I appreciate you having me up. I'm glad I could add to the conversation, make this gumbo taste a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
Just a little bit. That's all it is. I'm out, y'all. Y'all be easy.
Much love to y'all.